Sitzer-Burnett opened the door to a whole new world of commission lawsuits. Will 2024 be the year that ends real estate as we know it, or will it be the start of something new? It's now been over 2 months since a jury in federal court took less than 3 hours to find the National Association of Realtors, Keller Williams, and Home Services of America guilty of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act. Since then, a lot has happened. Here's a quick update to keep you in the know. On the deadline for the parties to file their post-trial motions, January 8th, 2024, the National Association of Realtors, Home Services of America, and Keller Williams filed a motion for a new trial in Sitzer-Burnett. The motion focuses on the plaintiff counsel's pervasive and prejudicial misconduct and legal errors in the jury instructions. Specifically, NAR, Home Services, and Keller Williams cited the plaintiff prejudiced the jury by letting them know Anywhere and RE/MAX had already settled the lawsuit. Keller Williams also said a new trial is warranted because the court excluded important evidence that would have shown Missouri law expressly authorizes commission sharing between listing agents and buyer's agents. The court allowed the jury to believe that home sellers wouldn't pay a buyer's agent even 1 cent, failing to mention that this is the very practice allowed under Missouri statute. Because of the disturbing verdict, many plaintiffs' attorneys are filing baseless copycat suits. Evidence was presented at trial but not admitted, which misinformed the jury, said Daryl Frost, a spokesman for Keller Williams. Home Services of America filed a motion for judgment as a matter of law and asked the court to set aside the jury's verdict and damages award, claiming the evidence at trial was insufficient to prove an antitrust violation. They also filed a motion to decertify the class, asking the court to decertify the class because they feel the court cannot rely on common evidence to prove that everyone in the class was harmed. Keller Williams joined Home Services of America in its motion for judgment as a matter of law. So what's next for Sitzer-Burnett? The plaintiff will now have until later this month to file responses to these motions, and Judge Bow will make the final decision, which isn't expected until late spring, early summer. Judge Bow also has the ability to issue injunctive relief, which basically means the judge has the authority to change the buyer-broker compensation rule, which is a real possibility. NAR, Keller Williams, and Home Services of America have all vowed to appeal the verdict. Meanwhile, although their settlements have received preliminary approval, a final approval conference date has been set for the approval of RE/MAX and Anywhere settlement agreements in Sitzer-Burnett, Merrill, and Nosselic commission lawsuits. The conference is set for May 9th, 2024 at 10 a.m. In the agreements, RE/MAX agreed to pay $55 million and Anywhere $83.5 million, as well as change the way their agents practice real estate, including no longer requiring their agents to become members of the National Association of Realtors or follow NAR's Code of Ethics. Keep in mind, Merrill versus NAR is still hanging over the industry's head. In a telephonic status conference in late November 2023, Judge Andrea R. Wood of the United States District Court indicated the court would likely set the trial for fourth quarter of 2024. Judge Wood also issued a deadline of January 22nd for both the plaintiff and the defendant to file a joint state report, which outlines the estimated number of days the parties need for testimony and trial. After the Sitzer-Burnett lawsuit, a flurry of copycat lawsuits were filed. There's now Gibson, filed out of Missouri, Batten 2, filed in Illinois, Burton, filed in South Carolina, March, filed in New York, QJ Team, filed in Texas, Phillips, filed in Georgia, Parker Holding Group, filed in Florida, Springway, filed in Pennsylvania, Grace, filed in California, Martin, filed in Texas, Oompa, filed in Missouri, and the most recent being Macielo, which was filed January 5th, 2024 in Arizona. After the Sitzer-Burnett verdict, I knew these copycat lawsuits were coming, yet the most recent case filed in Arizona is so close to home. I've been a real estate broker in Arizona since 2007. The Macielo class action lawsuit names the Arizona Association of Realtors, Phoenix Association of Realtors, Scottsdale Association of Realtors, the West and Southeast Valley Association of Realtors, as well as several local and national brokerages: HomeSmart, My Home Group, Realty One Group, West USA, Hegg Partners, Realty Executives, Arizona Best Real Estate, North & Co., Silverleaf, Walt Danley, Christie's International, The Brokery, Roy H. Long Realty, and Tierra Antigua Realty. Similar to the other suits, Macielo is seeking class action status for anyone who sold a home with one of the defendant brokerages on an Arizona MLS and paid a buyer broker commission between January 5th, 2020 and present. As with the other suits, the plaintiffs are seeking treble damages and an injunction against buyer broker compensation sharing. With so many cases filed, the plaintiffs for Gibson and Oompa filed a motion to consolidate their cases along with 7 of the other Copycat Commission lawsuits. They argue these suits are ripe for consolidation and requested transfer to Judge Stephen Bowe, who presided over Sitzer-Burnett, since many of the defendants' overlap involve the same questions of fact and all of the cases are in their infancy stages. The motion states this will reduce duplicative discovery and conserve the parties' and courts' resources. 2024 is ushering in more litigation to the real estate industry than ever before and threatening to end buyer broker compensation as we know it. While these legal proceedings progress, our role as real estate professionals is more crucial than ever. We are the steady hand guiding our clients through their most significant financial transactions. The expertise, local knowledge, and personalized service you provide cannot be understated. The industry may be shifting, but our value and necessity in the home buying and selling process endures. Let's view these changes as a chance to innovate, refine our services, and reinforce the indispensable role we play in people's lives. Stay tuned for further updates, and remember, our profession stands not just resilient, but poised to seize new opportunities in these changing times. If you have anything to add to the conversation, be sure to leave a comment, and if you've enjoyed this content, do me a solid and hit the subscribe button.